All right, welcome to The Explainer. The annual Stanford AI Index report, it's a massive look at where artificial intelligence is today. But let's be honest, it's also huge. So, what we've done is boiled down its hundreds of pages of research into this quick explainer to get you straight to what really matters. Okay, let's dive in.
The story of AI this past year is really a tale of two extremes. On one hand, you have this crazy, almost unbelievable speed up in what AI can do, but on the other, there's this huge growing shadow of costs and, risks. So that's the big question we're going to dig into. What did this great leap forward actually cost us?
Okay, so first up, let's just appreciate how far and how fast AI has come. The data from this past year, it's not about small tweaks. We're talking about fundamental, absolutely mind-blowing leaps in what these systems are capable of.
To really get a feel for how fast things are moving, just look at SW Bench. It's a super tough test where an AI has to solve real software engineering problems. In 2023, the best AIs couldn't even solve 5% of them. And now, a year later, they're nailing almost 72%. I mean, that's not just getting better. That's like a whole different ballgame.
And hey, the speed up, it's happening everywhere. For a long time, US models had a huge lead over their rivals. But that's changed. A lot. On a key math test, what used to be a 24-point lead over top Chinese models has pretty much vanished. It's now less than 2 points. What this tells us is that top-tier AI power is converging, and it's converging fast.
But here's the thing that might surprise you. It's not just about building bigger and bigger models. We're actually getting way smarter about how we build them. Back in 2022, you needed a monster of a model like Palm, with over 500 billion parameters to hit a certain performance goal. And now, a model that's 142 times smaller can pull off the same feat. Yeah, that is a total game changer for making this tech more efficient and accessible.
And look, this isn't just about passing tests in a lab. These models are becoming absolutely crucial tools for science. We're talking AI-driven research winning Nobel Prizes, AI agents doing complex work in a biology lab, AI systems predicting wildfires from space, and get this, the new O1 model, it's scoring 96% on a clinical knowledge exam. It's almost maxing out the test itself.
Okay, but like we said at the start, there's a flip side to this coin. All of this incredible progress comes at a price. And it's a cost we can measure in dollars, in carbon emissions, and in a whole new bucket of risks that, honestly, we're just starting to wrap our heads around.
First, let's talk cash. Cold, hard cash. Just listen to this quote from Anthropic's CEO. It's absolutely staggering. Just a couple of years back, training a top model would set you back tens of millions. Now, we're talking about $1 billion for one training run. Think about that. It just creates this huge wall, right? It puts all the power in the hands of the very few companies that can even afford to play.
And it's not just money. There's the environmental cost. Training just one of these large models, Meta's Llama 3, pumped out the equivalent of almost 9,000 tons of carbon. So what does that number even mean? Well, to put it in perspective, that one single training run is the same as the carbon footprint of nearly 500 people for an entire year. And as these models get bigger and are trained more often, you can see how this environmental toll is becoming a huge problem. Right, so the more powerful AI gets, the more things can go wrong. The number of documented AI incidents, we're talking everything from harmful bias to dangerous malfunctions, is surging. It's jumped by more than 56% in just 1 year. And as AI gets woven into more parts of our lives, the stakes for these failures just get higher and higher.
And yeah, companies know about these risks. But that's where we find this really dangerous gap. A gap between knowing there's a problem and actually doing something about it. I mean, check this out. A big survey found that most business leaders will say, yep, we see the risk of AI being inaccurate, but way fewer are actually spending money to fix it. It's like everyone sees the check engine light, but nobody wants to pull over and go to the mechanic.
And this inaction gets really scary when you look at something like elections. The report makes it clear. AI-made misinformation was basically everywhere in 2024, popping up in election campaigns in more than a dozen countries. Now, we can argue all day about how much it actually changed things, but the fact that it was there, that's not up for debate.
Okay, so you've got this explosion of tech on one side, and this explosion of risk on the other. So how's the world reacting? Let's talk about the people, the policy, and how everyone's trying to deal with this new reality.
You know, just because the tech gets better doesn't mean people automatically trust it. I mean, just look at self-driving cars. After all these years of development, 61% of Americans are still scared of them. It's a huge reminder that the industry has a massive trust problem to solve.
So while the public's kind of nervous, politicians are absolutely scrambling to catch up. Since federal action in the U.S. has been pretty slow, the states have jumped in, and the number of AI laws at the state level has just gone through the roof. We're talking from just one law back in 2016 to more than 130 in the past year alone. That's an explosion.
And this rush to regulate? It's not just a US thing. 2024 was a huge year for AI rules all over the world. I mean, you had the EU passing its big AI Act, the UN adopting its very first AI resolution, the OECD updating its principles, and then the first global network of AI safety institutes got set up. So the message is pretty clear. The world agrees we need some rules of the road here.
All right, so we've got super fast tech, rising costs, and a world trying to react. So where do we go from here? Let's take a peek at what's just over the horizon.
So the next big thing you're going to hear about is the AI agent. And this is a really, really important idea to get. We're shifting from AI that just, answers your questions to an AI that actually does stuff for you. It can make a plan, click around on websites, use apps. Basically, it can handle complicated multi-step tasks all by itself.
So on the left here, you can see what that actually looks like. An agent is browsing a website trying to buy something for a user. But here's the catch. Because these things are so powerful, we need brand new ways to test them safely. And that's what you're seeing on the right. It's a diagram of an AI sandbox. Basically, a safe digital playground where researchers can let these agents run wild and see if they do anything dangerous before they're let out into the real world.
But there's maybe one giant question hanging over this entire field. What about the fuel? The problem is we might actually be running out of the high-quality data from the internet that we need to train these things. Now, one possible solution is synthetic data, basically having AI create fake data to train other eyes. But the report is pretty clear on this. It's not a silver bullet. It's not a perfect replacement and can sometimes even make the models worse. This whole data problem, it could be the single biggest roadblock to future progress.
So here we are, right back where we started. The AI car is going faster than ever, smashing records left and right. The engine is more powerful and more efficient than we ever dreamed. But the fuel costs are skyrocketing, the risks are piling up, and we're still kind of writing the driver's manual as we go. So the big question the Stanford AI Index really leaves us with is this. AI is accelerating, no doubt about it. But are we ready to grab the steering wheel?